What a turn of events in the NBA this offseason. This news broke during the NBA Finals before Game 3, which is crazy. But Chris Paul is no longer going to be a Phoenix Sun. The first report from Chris Haynes said that it was going to be a wave. He was going to get waived, but that didn't seem right. And then Shams came out and was like, nope, they're going to try to trade him, or they can waive him. They're looking at a lot of possibilities. Is the actual report. So Chris Haynes a little troll for engagements, but good job on him for getting his engagements, his views. But Chris Paul is going to be traded, waived, or they're not going to have him on the roster at the start of the season, at the end of the offseason, I should say. So this is interesting. This came out of nowhere. I kind of expected them not to take his guaranteed money. They probably told him that, and then that's when he's like, "Nah, they're just trading me. I'd rather play somewhere else and get more money than I would get here." Maybe I don't know what the whole thing behind it was, but I'm surprised they did this. Yes, he's older. Yes, he's been more injury prone, but at the same time, he's the guy that led you to the NBA Finals. Without him, you guys don't go to the NBA Finals. Without him, who knows if you guys get Kevin Durant? That's why it's super interesting. And I was like, whoa, this came out of absolute left field. I expected them, like I said, not to pick up his fully guaranteed money contract. But yeah, this is super interesting. So I'm here to list out a bunch of possible teams. I know I did go over some of the mock trades in my DeAndre Ayton video. If you guys want to go check that out, it's actually my most viewed NBA video on my channel at like 300 views, almost something like that. Great video. I just kind of went over some possible trades for Aiden, and Chris Paul is also involved in some of those trades too. I don't think those are going to happen. I think his package is not going to be high, in my opinion. You might get a young player and like a pick, maybe for Chris Paul, maybe a couple more good role players. But my first thought of this was when I saw he was being waived was, so Kyrie might be a legit option. Kyrie Irving might be a legit option now because he's also a free agent coming from Dallas. Like, who knows? Like, you're getting rid of this money for a reason. They've been having talks with players, probably. Kevin Durant, Book, if I've been talking to Kyrie, maybe James Harden about coming playing, and maybe someone's down. Maybe a good big player's down that will cost a lot of money, unless this has nothing to do with that, and it's legit just let's get off his contract and get multiple role players around our two superstars. That could easily be the case as well, because they're also going to flip Aiden soon as well. So I'm excited to see this little retool of Phoenix. I'm very excited to see what happens here. But some of the teams that I kind of want to just talk about real quick and see where he might go. Everyone's talking on Twitter about this. I just want to address some of this stuff. So the Lakers seems like the most viable option, right? The Lakers seems like a viable option because his family lives in LA. Even when he's playing in Phoenix, his family lives in LA. His kids go to school in LA. So the Lakers, I would say Clipper reunion, but they have Russ, and Russ probably will resign, in my opinion. So the Lakers will possibly be a good fit for him. But if not the Lakers, because the cap space they don't have, honestly, Chicago Bulls. My Chicago Bulls are a really good option for Chris Paul. I see a lot of Bulls fans on my timeline be like, no, this sucks. No, this is such a Bulls move to make. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, honestly, this is a really good move for the Bulls. We don't have that starting point guard because Lonzo's out. Lonzo will never probably play basketball again, as the report said. So we need to fill that starting point guard void, right? Kind of like what the Thunder did with him and Shea, Get Chris Paul there for a year before he went to Phoenix. Let him mentor Shea, and Shea becomes a fucking beast, and now he's a superstar, So Kobe White's been having a monster offseason as well. I just saw a clip this morning of him, and I heard that DeMar DeRozan's trainer is actually training him and said that he's having a monster offseason and like he legit might be an all-star. I was like, oh, wow. If that's the case, Kobe White, that'd be amazing for us. But Chris Paul to Chicago, don't count it out because we need that starting point guard role. A great veteran point guard like Chris Paul, one of the best point guards to ever play the game, helping mentoring young players, helping a Bulls team that has been struggling to get out of the first round and make the playoffs for the past few years, help them get to that next step. Help Zach, help all these people, show them what you have to do mentally to get out of the first round and show them how it's done. That's what I want the most, as a Bulls fan. And this would be great because, like I said, no starting point guard role. We need a floor general, a leader. That's Chris Paul to the T. Yeah, Chris Paul doesn't play fast. The Bulls are great in transition when they play fast, but he's a great throw up the floor passer, right? get a rebound, look up, throw it off the floor. He loves doing that to DeAndre Ayton and Book. So I'm in Chicago. He'll probably do the same thing, like 100%. So I think Chicago is also a good option that he should look at, in my opinion, just because of all that reasons. He'll come in as a starting point guard probably. He has that Billy Donovan connection from that 1 year in OKC. So he also trains with Kobe White in the offseason. So it just stars kind of aligned. And I saw shout out to Artur Ross, Artur's fan club. He quote tweeted a tweet yesterday from 2021. Chris Paul tweeted out saying Zach LaVine nice as hell, and he quote tweeted that. It was funny, but obviously he likes the players. He trains with them, so Chicago makes kind of sense, especially if we're gonna keep Vooch. He knows how to play a pick and pop game. Bulls play pick and roll, pick and pop all the time. So with Vooch, it's just gonna be licking my chops, like Pat Bev says, you know. So they're an option. Also, I was thinking about the Mavericks signing and trading him for Kyrie. Not signing and trading, but signing and trading Kyrie for Chris Paul would be kind of dope, right? You got CP3 next to Luka. Not sure how that would work. CP3 is kind of a good defender, not anymore really. But obviously, you get off that Kyrie contract, it'd be a lot of money. You kind of bring Chris Paul in for the cheap, maybe. You don't fully guarantee his contract, or you renegotiate a new contract with him, whatever the case may be. You get less money, get more role players around there. I think it's a win-win for both teams right there, for Suns and Mavs, in my opinion. That's really the only teams, though, that I honestly can see like him going to that makes sense, you know? I would say the Knicks, but the Knicks don't really make sense. You know, they're a young team. That's what they thrive off of. But getting a veteran presence in there to help push. Then with the second round this year, helping them push. Be like, yo, this is how you do it. That's one thing Chris Paul is great at with every team he's ever played for. Teaching the young guys, okay, this is how you make a deep playoff run. This is how you do this and that. And this is the mindset you have to be in. Because, you know, you listen to Draymond Green, listen to Kevin Durant, listen to all of these people that talk about Chris Paul on these podcasts. He is like a basketball psychopath. Even JJ Redick said that to his face on the Old Man in the Three. CP3 is a psychopath when it comes to the game. He knows everything. He goes that story Kevin Durant said about the 3 for 2 when Chris Paul's like, yo, there's a 2 for 1. It's also a 3 for 2, and Kevin Durant's like, this man's crazy. Like he knows the game like that, every little detail. So I don't, in my opinion, yes, he's older, but I don't know why a team wouldn't grab him, especially a young team. The Bulls have their mid-level exception. Not sure if the Lakers do. I think they might. A couple other teams do. So, honestly, who knows? But honestly, I saw a report that was like Harden and CP3 have unfinished business in Houston. It will not work this time. It will not work this time. But honestly, those 4 teams, the Clippers, Lakers, Bulls, and Mavs make the most sense to me. Any other team, it doesn't really, there is no fit. Maybe Miami, but also you would have to give up some of your young players, and you know, you just made the NBA Finals. But honestly, if you can give up like Duncan Robinson, a couple other shooters, maybe, and like a pick, maybe Phoenix would be inquired for. Oh, we can get some good ass shooters around our 2 superstars for Chris Paul. You know, maybe Miami as well. It's super tough because who knows what his package is, especially late in his career when he's just hurt in the playoffs. But this man's a workaholic and one of the best point guards of all time. So I expect somebody to obviously make a package for him and get him. I hope it's the Bulls. But honestly, if I had to predict, it's probably going to be the Lakers, in my opinion. I think the Lakers will find a way to grab him. But those are kind of my predictions on what will happen with CP. The Mavericks would be kind of cool to see Kyrie go there. But, you know, who knows? We shall see. Maybe even to Philly. Maybe him to Philly. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? But I think those are the 4 picks. Clips, Lakers, Clips depending on what happens with Russ. Lakers, Bulls, Mavs. Those are the 4. And maybe Miami. Those are kind of the 4 or 5 that make the most sense in my opinion. Every other team doesn't really make sense. So, yeah, that's been the video. I just want to come on here and talk about that real fast. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This has been some crazy news in the finals. I'm sorry, Mike Malone. It's all dropping during the NBA Finals. So, yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. This is a great day. Nuggets are up 2-1 right now in the NBA Finals. Game 3 on Friday, which is tomorrow. Game 4 tomorrow, sorry. And, yeah, guys, hope you guys have a great day. Great rest of your night, wherever you're at. And, yeah, enjoy basketball.